What's up everyone? Welcome to FilmSpot, and today we'll be talking about best upcoming movies. The official release date for Godzilla Vs Kong 2 has been announced. Although the American King Kong franchise and character have existed since 1933 and the Japanese Godzilla films have been around since 1954, this particular branch of the franchise began in 2014 with Gareth Edwards' Godzilla. That film ignited what is now known as the Monsterverse, which spawned the sequel Godzilla King of the Monsters, as well as the 2017 prequel Kong Skull Island, before having both branches cross over in an epic clash with 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong. The film was an early pandemic-era box office success for the company, leading to the quick greenlighting of a sequel. Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard will be returning, bringing on his former The Guest lead actor Dan Stevens to play a major role. The film, which begins production in Queensland, Australia later this year, will also feature a cameo from fan-favorite miner Kaiju Titanus Doug, a Hollow Earth lizard who appeared in the previous film. This week, Legendary Entertainment gave the latest update on Godzilla vs. Kong 2, which is currently untitled. The film is going to come to theaters on March 15, 2024. The date is just 2 weeks under 3 years after the release of the first Godzilla vs. Kong crossover in 2021. Taron Egerton says production on Kingsman 3 could start soon. Egerton starred in the first 2 films of the irreverent action spy franchise as Gary Eggsy Unwin, not to be confused with the recent prequel The Kingsman, which Eggsy didn't appear in. The Kingsman followed the formation of the Kingsman Agency by Ralph Fiennes' Duke Orlando Oxford amidst the turmoil of World War I, decades before the events of the other films, which are set in the present day. The upcoming sequel is called Kingsman: Blue Blood and will see Matthew Vaughn continue to serve as the series director and co-writer as he has on all previous films. Blue Blood was supposed to be shot back-to-back with the prequel, but as with many productions in the past few years, that plan was upended by the COVID pandemic. There's little known about the story at the moment, although it will continue to follow the tempestuous relationship of the blue-collared Eggsy and his more proper mentor Harry Hart. While neither The Golden Circle nor The Kingsman were particularly successful in the eyes of critics, that hasn't slowed the franchise from making money, and might not even hamper Vaughn's plans to make at least 7 other films or television shows in the Kingsman universe. Egerton spoke recently about the series in an interview for the SiriusXM show The Jess Cagle Podcast with Julia Cunningham. In the interview, both hosts professed to being big fans of the franchise and asked Egerton if he has any updates on his next appearance in the franchise and the state of Kingsman 3. Egerton is deferential, saying, "I am a humble pawn in the equation," but confirming that there is a script. Universal Pictures' Despicable Me 4 is set to release in July of 2024. The highly anticipated 4th installment of Illumination's Crown Jewel franchise will come 14 years after the world was first introduced to the franchise. Children instantly adored the first CGI movie, which follows supervillain Gru as he takes in a trio of orphan girls named Margot, Edith, and Agnes. In the following years, Despicable Me's success spawned 2 sequels and a spin-off franchise all about the army of little yellow fan-favorite characters, the Minions. Illumination and Universal Pictures have announced that Despicable Me 4 will release on July 3, 2024. Despicable Me 4 is set to release 2 years after Minions: The Rise of Gru. The Rise of Gru will be a prequel spotlighting young Gru in the 1970s as he vies to be a part of the supervillain group the Vicious Six. Taron Egerton admitted that he has met with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige for a potential role in the world's most successful film franchise, and hinted in a New York Times interview that the role he's in talks for is none other than Wolverine. The character was famously played by Hugh Jackman over several years, and Egerton acknowledged that he has big shoes to fill were his casting to come through. The Kingsman star has long been a fan favorite to take over from Jackman as Marvel attempts to integrate the X-Men characters into the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Disney's takeover of Fox. Fans were given a taste of what it would be like to see characters from parallel universes in the recent Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which featured cameo appearances from John Krasinski as Reed Richards and Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. Deadpool's introduction in the MCU is also underway. The 3rd film in the series will be directed by Ryan Reynolds' frequent collaborator Sean Levy. Stewart appeared as Professor X alongside Jackman's Wolverine in multiple X-Men films. The franchise fizzled out with 2019's critical and commercial flop Dark Phoenix, not counting the spin-off New Mutants, which was given a token theatrical release at the peak of the pandemic in the aftermath of Disney's takeover. Egerton's casting would be the second time that Marvel has acknowledged and acted on fan demands, following Krasinski's appointment as Reed Richards. Egerton would certainly have big shoes to fill. Jackman is virtually synonymous with the character, which not only catapulted him to stardom, but helped usher in the current domination of superhero films that we're seeing. He played the character from 2000 to 2017, finally hanging up his claws after the Oscar-nominated blockbuster Logan. A new image from Avatar: The Way of Water gives the most detailed look yet at the Tulkun, which looks very similar to a whale on Earth, but with some differences. The Tulkun has two eyes, one large, one small, both with an orange tint, and has a more curvaceous form overall in comparison to the real-world counterpart. Producer John Lando previously described the creatures as 300 feet long and said they are a sentient species and as intelligent in their own way as the Na'vi are in theirs. The first trailer for the film showed Jake Sully swimming alongside a Tulkun peacefully, highlighting their harmonious relationship in the new setting, which appears to be the scene where the still image is derived from. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one!